Hello, everybody. Dorothy Morgan here, a longtime professional astrologer. Today, we're going to talk about the astrology for May 4th. And we've got the moon in Gemini still. It stays in there for most of the day today, May 4th. Shifts into Cancer later on this evening. I'll talk about that. And we also have the sun and Uranus coming to make their conjunction super close. So even though it doesn't happen until the wee hours of May 5th, we're feeling it today because it's an applying aspect. And so I'm going to point that out to you too. And after we're done the astrology, as always, we will get a little extra message from Spirit with the Astro Dice, and then a little something from this deck, which helps us to connect with earth spirit, just nature, because that's what I love. I have Taurus rising. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to get started. This is just, it's not a random chart. It's just a noontime chart for my latitude and longitude. And we don't talk about the ascendant and the midheaven here if you're new to us. And we don't talk about the house placements of the planets in this context, just because I'm talking about just the planets in the sky. Everybody has these planets in different places because depending on where you are on the earth. Okay. Excuse me a sec. Always have a little cough this time of year. Good old allergies. So we're still in the new moon phase. The crescent phase is almost here, but a few more hours for that. So first off, with the moon in Gemini, lots of conversation. Oh my God, last night, one call after another, just friends and family calling and chit-chatting and good news and thank you. And lots of just conversations. I'm a Gemini, so it really, when the moon is in the sign of Gemini, it really does connect to who I am. The moon is in that declination, which is called out of bounds. So it adds a little more to the mix. It's like, a shot of espresso in your coffee. It just gives it a little more of a kick, right? So when the moon is out of bounds, which it is these days, when it's in Gemini and Cancer and a little bit of Leo, it will act very dynamic, and it just feels like, wow, people are more emotional than usual. And it's the emotion is through our conversations, because that's what Gemini is: information, conversation. So we have that going on today. And let me get my ephemeris. The moon will shift into the sign of Cancer 7:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So just, you'll have to do the math of your own time zone. Okay. So until then, lots of conversation. Gemini moon, the moon is making a quincunx to Pluto throughout the day. So it could create some very powerful adjustments in your world. All right. That's what that represents. We also have, and then I wanted to absolutely talk about the sun conjunct Uranus. That is at Eastern Daylight Time. It will be on May 5th. And that is like at 3:22 in the morning. So even if you're on the west coast of the US, it's just after midnight. So tonight. So anyways, wow, this is, the sun is illuminating what Uranus is representing in the sign of Taurus. So we could very well, what's Taurus? We just went through this with the new moon eclipse. Okay. So go back on, especially if you're one who likes to do those new moon not predictions, but new moon goals and intentions in your journaling. Go back and just, I know it's just been a few days. The sun is moving very slow right now. So is the moon. So the intensity of these aspects is longer than usual because the sun is moving a little bit slower. That's more math. I'll get into that with you. They are together in declination as well, Sun and Uranus. That's not always the case. Just because they're conjunct in the zodiac does not always mean that they're in the same place in declination, and they are. So if this was the sun and the moon, it would be an eclipse. It would be a solar eclipse. So be on your toes. This is Uranus. You can't predict what Uranus will do. All we can do is manage our response to it. Taurus, what I love, what I value, could be finances, could be something that you think is beautiful or luxurious. And my light went out. That's why I put that light into the other room. I have two lights like this that have the white. There we go. Oh, get it. I'm going to ignore that light. You probably can't even see it. Where was I? the the Uranian energy and how sudden things can happen. And you saw that right there. It was just proof. That's so funny. So that's what today can be like. Today and tomorrow, we're going to feel it. Even yesterday, for me, yesterday I had plans with a colleague for Thursday, which was going to take up a huge chunk of Thursday. So I blocked that out and she had to reschedule. And just this morning, I was going to have a long lunch with a dear colleague as well. And she canceled at 8 o'clock this morning. So now both Wednesday and Thursday are kind of like wide open. So I have plenty to do. It's just unexpected. And that is what we get when the Sun and Uranus are in a conjunction. And the Taurus we were all good. We just both days out to lunch. That's food, what I love, yummy, what I think is it's just good stuff. So we'll reschedule, no big deal, but it can be something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing, but it can be. So we might see something really powerful happening in the world. There's a lot going on. There's always a lot going on. Always. Something can change quickly with this though. So look at where Uranus has been for you. And what are those enlightening moments? What are those moments of aha? So that's some of the astrology. You can always find more on my website, DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. I also I can sign up for my newsletter, blog. It's just me, guys. I'm not like the big companies that if you sign up, then 2 days later, they send you another email and then another email and another. I don't do any of that. It's just me. I mean, I use tech, but I'm kind of old fashioned like that. So I will not spam you at all, ever. I don't like it either. When I sign up for something, I want something. I don't want all of it, all of those things. Sometimes after a day or two, even if it's something I want, I unsubscribe. So I can't stand that. I won't do that to you. So sign up. Patreon has lots. Tonight, I'm doing the monthly forecast for Gemini. I don't do it by calendar months. And that's for my Patreon group. That's tier 4. You're welcome to come and support me there. All right, let's roll the die. This is where we say, Spirit, what do you want us to know? Let me grab this. There we go. Mars and Scorpio in the 4th house. What does Spirit want us to know? When I see Mars in Scorpio, it rules Scorpio along with Pluto. It's the co-ruler of Scorpio. So when I see that, that tells me that there is some private secrets. 4th house is home, family, but our inner private secrets. So something can be coming to the surface. We need to focus on that a little bit. Something deep that needs to come up so we're able to heal. This feels uncomfortable. This feels uncomfortable. Now, this isn't for everybody, remember, but if you yourself know you're feeling uncomfortable and there's something not going well in your world, allow these feelings to come to the surface so you can work with them. I mean, of course, if you're in an extreme situation, please reach out for help to whomever you reach out to help with. Okay. But in the meantime, that's what this can mean. So that's on a more serious level. And then on a more metaphysical, if you will, level, Mars and Scorpio in the 4th house. I mean, you could do some deep shamanic work, if you will, or deep meditation. So you're able to process and heal something that it's not necessarily coming to the surface or being triggered right now, but it is something that needs to be addressed. Why do I respond, in a certain way to certain things? Is there something I can do to take care of, to help myself so I don't react to a certain thing, but I can actually respond to it? And that's the way that you begin your healing process, because there's been so much stress and tension for not for decades, but lifetimes. We all know the truth. Life is lifey, and we don't know. It can be difficult at times. So this energy represents that. Mars and Scorpio in the 4th house, bringing those deep family issues to the surface. Or if you choose, you can go dive in right now all by yourself without being triggered. And that's an opportunity there too. So the card, I split the deck instead of pulling one, and White Buffalo came out. And that's about approaching things in a whole new way when that White Buffalo card shows up. So approaching things in a whole new way, finding a way to process things in differently and transform that what you are processing and dealing with at this point in time. In doing that, it helps to restore some harmony in your life, right? Brings more harmony and more abundance. Because when things are out of balance, emotionally especially, it's hard to feel safe, secure, and feel like you're thriving. So when that White Buffalo card shows up, it represents that as well. It represents the abundance and new beginnings, and especially with everything that we've had before, it is definitely a wonderful opportunity for us to start something new. So that's what that card, that beautiful native spirit card, wants us to know. All right. Okay. I'll leave us with that talking stick. It's about telling stories and listening. That's that Gemini moon. All right. That was a good read for today. And yeah, pay attention, take it slow. Mercury's almost retrograde. It's stationary in its declination right now. And it's only 1 degree away from where it's going to retrograde. So it's super slow. Doesn't retrograde until the 10th. However, information with the moon in Gemini, out of bounds, information can be coming at us really fast. And then on the flip side of that, information is just not coming at us fast enough, or we're feeling bogged down by information. So tell me how your communication and information stuff has been going on for you over these last couple of days in the comments below. I'd like to hear it. And it's always me. I will be commenting and replying then as well. All right, everybody. Blessings. Namaste.